Hi everyone, thank you for watching this video. And in this video, I will be talking about the 7 cubes that I have mentioned in other videos related to the 12 triangles that some people have called them the triangles of the dead, of the evil, or and what these 12 triangles refer to basically is to portals that are the bridge in between dimensions, and that airplanes and ships and boats have been lost for a while and then they reappear after years and with various peculiar characteristics in the people that were part of the crew. For instance, the fact that they didn't age. So, and when they share their experience, well, they mentioned this, and this are very top secret cases that would be archived. So, but in the end, it's all coming to light. Anyway, this is not the main topic about this video. I'm just mentioning it as an introduction because when we are talking about these 12 portals, which are delimited through 3 points, that's why they are called triangles, because there are 3 pillars that are holding the energetic field, the electromagnetic field that the portal is pulsing in connection to the magnetic field of the Earth, and that are in very specific epicenters that show anomalies in the Earth's field that are pretty related to wormholes and to water. Okay, so having said this, these 12 triangles, these 12 nodes, are connected to 7 cubes. And even though there are more devices involved, like spheres, and more than 7, and in this video, I'm just talking about these 7 cubes. And I will tell you in a moment why. Because these 7 cubes, when we are talking about, for instance, maybe you have seen the patterns that each planet creates due to its frequency. For instance, Venus in this pentagonal or pentagonic shape, this pentagon shape. And each planet has a specific polygon that it's manifesting through its pattern. And in the case of the Earth, what could that pattern be? Well, this is an heptagon. Why an heptagon? Because we can even see it translated through the Earth's Schumann resonance, which being one of the 3 of them, which is the lowest in frequency, is the 7.8. So this frequency is the basic pattern that generates a geometry, and this geometry is an heptagon. So when we see how many of the informational fields within the ancient archives were configured, rated, we can see that it's about the 7 days of the week, the 7 metals, the 7 colors of the rainbow, and the 7 wise men called the Galu, the 7 tribes, and it's quite connected also to the 12 tribes. So This is the correlation in between the cubes and the triangles, just one of them. So anyway, and I could go on and on and on about all the sevens that are involved, like the seven seas and the seven archangels and so forth. So anyway, this seven as a numerical value is connected and aligned to the fact that that's the Earth's pattern, an heptagon. And that's why everything will be based on that. For simplicity, for resonance, because, well, some things come inherently, for instance, as the seven colors of the rainbow, because due to the spectrum of light of how this matrix unfolds is based on seven. So then when we're talking about the seven cubes, it's related precisely to the thing that I just mentioned before, and also to when we are talking about the seven tribes, for instance, when we go to the most ancient texts of creation, like the Genesis, the 7 days of creation of the reality, and for instance, in the Popol Vuh for the Mayans, where they say that these seven wise men or people from the serpent that relates to the energy and people of the water. There are seven, and also they came from seven caves. So this is talking about in a specific order of specific spheres that pulse specific frequencies, like the seven notes. So these seven cubes are aligned to that fundament. And also, we can say that each cube holds the information of each one of the seven tones, of the seven tribes, of the seven edges to the heptagon holding the frequency of the earth, and the earth's fundamental pattern, and the information of the seven seas, and as I was saying, of the seven colors of the rainbow, of the 7 days of the week, and of the 7 days of creation. And we can relate this even to the DNA. Let's say that each of these spheres are embedded in the blood, in the DNA codes. And when these cubes will start unfolding, because let's say that throughout the hybrid eclipse that happened on April the 20th, the timing that had been set after the cataclysm, because we can say that throughout these 12 triangles, when the cataclysm happened, then all those portals generated at this phase that would lead to a specific arrhythmia through those portals, and in consequence to the Earth's electromagnetic field. What was generating and what generated this phase? Well, the fissure within the realities, separation, perception, a separated perception, and polarization, because that's also something that united with the Earth's evolutive process would also sync. So we have two constants that in the end are correlated, as the whole universe is. So then when this alarm, let's say it somehow was set for this moment to happen, 2023, which is precisely aligned to the end of Uranus transit throughout Cetus constellation. And as if you have seen previous videos where I'm sharing this information about Cetus and the importance about Cetus throughout the original zodiac, Cetus was the third element to Pisces, and Pisces is a very important sign. I won't be going deep in this topic in this video. I will be doing other forms of continue to bring this information, to continue to convey this information, as it's very important, as I'm mentioning at this moment. So anyway, this Pisces, Isis, Phi, Isis, Genesis, Gen Isis, hypophysis, epiphysis. Anyway, this suffix is so important because the frequency is leading to the primordial gen. And when we if we go to any important texts of this hermetic knowledge, like for instance, there is Lena Blavatsky that mentions Isis, and that Isis says, I'm the beginning and I am the end. Well, also Jeshua, and also it's a very important code. Yet when it comes to Isis, this being called by the Greeks Isis because it's holding a very specific frequency, not by mistake, not by just for the pleasure of renaming it, as many things were. When it comes to Osiris and Isis and other specific frequencies, like the Ennead, like Horus, they're holding specific frequencies that generate specific patterns and that are embedded in the language. So not the English language, of course, not the Latin language. I'm talking about even more primordial roots. They are reconnecting, they're restoring to more archaic frequencies. So Isis is one of them. And Pisces is the first zodiac sign, not the last one. So then we can see how no wonder why there is such a distortion in reality and an upside down perception. And it was part of the experiences and experimentation as human forms. Yet the time has come for all that distorted reality to be torsioned, for all the distortion to be torsioned into clarity. And this is one of the things. Pisces is the first zodiac sign, not because I'm saying so, yet because it's astronomically proved that Pisces is in the orbit of Mars throughout the whole transit of Mars. And many more things, like the beginning of the year is not in January. It would be in throughout the spring when life begins. Yet, as I was saying, I will be talking about this in another video. Anyway, so the relation in between Cetus and Pisces is a deep code that leads us to see that throughout those spheres of how the constellations embed specific points of the human original hologram, Pisces and Cetus are giving that torsion. Again, I will be going deeper in another video, just to mention in a very punctual way. Imagine your body, imagine the Vitruvius form that Da Vinci decoded, and just 13 spheres around in very specific points of your body. Which ones? Your joints, your articulations, and connected to your 9 glands. So 9-7, because this is also a very important code. There are 7, and the 9 are connecting to the North Pole and to the South Pole, to the North Node and to the South Node. So anyway, so when you have the 13 zodiac signs connected and you're igniting your 13 joints, which are sustaining and being sustained by your 14 pieces. 14 pieces? Yes, like the Vitruvius. Yes, like the 14 pieces of Osiris. So the missing piece, the missing link is the phallus. And then again, this is related to Isis, and this is related to the chromosomes and the creation and the X and the Y. This is another story. Connected, yet another story. So yet the link is the DNA. So when we are talking about the 7 cubes and the DNA, then each one of the 7 cubes will be igniting from 2023 to 2030. This started 2023, the timing of the clock, to say it somehow, of the device that we set to be ignited at this year after the hybrid eclipse. Why the hybrid eclipse? Because the hybrid eclipse is a unique eclipse that, due to the perspective, the very specific perspective of how the moon and the sun are located in relation to the earth, you can see the whole levels or the whole phases of types of eclipses in one. The 4 type of eclipses in one. So, unity. And this ignited the initiation of the unfolding of these 7 cubes. The first cube unfolding, fully igniting, well, gradually igniting, yet beginning to ignite, is the Yucatan's cube, as how I call it. And why the Yucatan's cube? Because it's located in Mexico, yet it's connected to the pyramid in between the Yucatan Peninsula and the Cuba Island. And of course, connected to the Triangle of Bermuda. So, as I was saying, each cube is connected to each one of the triangles. Just to say another example of the triangles, we have the Triangle of Japan, we have the Triangle of Afghanistan, we have the Triangle of Antarctica, we have the Triangle of New Zealand, I will be sharing this information for the ones that are in resonance, can have it handed in, because we are doing a very specific labor regarding to this. And it's, for instance, now that we are going to, throughout the solar annular eclipse on the 14th of October, we will be in Mexico, and we will be connecting with the Yucatan's cube, that Pacal, one of the most important kings throughout the Mayans civilization, ancient civilization, he was ruling, he was guiding, and bringing all this information regarding to the cube. And this is pretty related to Palenque, Antonina as well, the sphere and the cube. As I was saying, for every sphere there is a cube, for every cube there is a sphere. And a pyramid, of course, or pyramids generating the oscillation for these artifacts to unfold. As I was saying, these are holofractographically unfoldings, and so physical unfoldings. I mean, in other words, there are physical cubes and spheres, and also holofractographic spheres and cubes, because it's the same. Everything comes, like the density, the matter comes from the holofractographic field. So when we access to this field is much easier, much more precise. And also very important to know how to, for realities don't generate a decompensation in between fields, which is kind of what happened with the portals and with the all the devices that were related to those 12 portals. I mean, everything added up. The meteorite, the use of the devices, everything aligned. Like, it's all correlated. Anyway, so each one of these 7 years, one cube will be igniting. I will be mentioning which cube. I will be inviting all of you who are in resonance with this labor to come physically or to join virtually. What benefits does this bring to you? Well, besides occupying your space, because if you're, it's normal, and it's kind of coherent that if you're in resonance with this information, is because this information relates directly to you. It relates to everyone who is at this stage alive, yet at scale, it's maybe because you are more intimate to this topic as a fractal, as a multidimensional being from one of your fractals, or all at once, maybe. And you're just remembering that you came here to one of the things, besides being happy and evolving while doing, and being happy while evolving, because you also came to participate from this. So when I will be sharing the information, whether if you want to come physically or joining virtually. The first one is Yucatan, and I will be writing in the description below this video how you can participate. I also mentioned that I am bringing all this information of the cubes related to a cyclic torsion system that I have designed, which is using all the algorithms of the linear time systems and the illusory time systems that have been created through religions in order to torsion them and restore the human original hologram to the cosmic pulse. So this is already a labor that I'm doing in Spanish mostly. I am opening it also to English speakers because it's very important, and it's a very simple configuration, actually. So I'm going to record a video talking about this because now in the equinox there is another stage unfolding in order to torsion, because in the end now all the vacuum that has always been is coming into the state of awareness field, as it's the fundamental tool to generate distortion, because it's the same. The vacuum is a torsion where you are igniting all the information within you in order to, from a 0 point, to restore it to its original pulse, to harmony, bottom line. And so two things. In the other video that I will be recording in the upcoming days, I will be talking more precisely about the T444 before the equinox, actually the southern hemisphere equinox. And regarding to this video, I will be sharing in the description below the Telegram group if you want to know more about these activations, which I want to clarify and specify. Everything is already activated. Everything is already active. It's to some extent. The fact that we are becoming aware of its existence, it's igniting it more to a higher scale. And the more participative we are about this reality, the more it activates. Yet it's very simple. Each time it's more simple. That's it. It's what it's about. It is what it is about. Simplifying our reality. That's what the high technology tools are for. And the holofractographic field is one of them. So, like, using it, of course, and knowing how to use it. So all these ignitions we are doing are from the holofractographic field with codes, with maps, interstellar maps, algorithmic maps that are pulsing and that are embedded within the DNA. How? Because these algorithms that I am decoding are related to very specific numbers, mathematics, geometries, uh, astronomy knowledge that of how the DNA was encoded, of how the design of the DNA was encoded. And this is pretty related also to what we could call religion. Let's say that all the information is spread into three pillars, the three main religions. And because if you even read a little bit of the Sefer Yetzirah, which is one of the most ancient books in the Kabbalah, in the Jewish tradition, it expresses how the 3, 7, and 12 as the letters of the alphabet, which are the fundamental numbers that of how all the knowledge was ordered in spheres that would be separated to some extent, so that throughout the amnesia, the correlation in between one of them wouldn't be conceived, and mirrors would be set in between those spheres for not to see each other, like mirror to mirror, mirror to mirror. So what's in the middle of the mirror? Nothing. You cannot see through the mirror. And this is one of the biggest codes, because you cannot see through the mirror unless you are in front of the mirror. So that thick layer generated through the amplified interferential wave field generated by the technology has created that veil. And that veil also is present in specific parts of the brain, the back part to be specific, to be more precise. And we can generate from that veil a mantle that will hold the space for the dome, for the vault. For many things, it's just about torsion. It's not about fighting the information. It's not about fighting the energy. It's just about using the energy on behalf of our higher evolutive purpose. And this is the torsion. And you don't need to do a big thing. It's just about numbers. It's just about playing numbers. And this is what we are doing through the unfolding, connecting with the information of the cubes. The first cube is related to the Mayan DNA, to the Mayan matrix. What is this? Well, when we are talking about the Mayan matrix, let's say that we can order or classify the evolution in the earth in stages. And this is quite related to the cataclysm and the before and the after. And the after is related to the Mayan codification. And it was all encoded through the algorithmic cyclic system that later was distorted into a linear time, which was great because it was part of the evolution. Imagine that if we consider the Ouroboros as one of the biggest codes related to time, to know how to use and travel in time and how time was sealed. Well, if we separate the Ouroboros, then we have the mouth here and the tail here. So the torus is not fulfilling. And this is what a linear time is doing. We are existing, yet we are not fully existing. So, and that's an illusion. That's how It was created because you go, 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 and never get to the beginning. So the ring of time embedded in the Ouroboros is the wormhole that completes. If you take one side of a wormhole and the other one and you put it together, you have a torus. So that's what happened mainly with the wormholes connected to the 12 triangles. They didn't met again, the mouth and the tail. So it's just about bringing the sides together and generating those 12 toruses that then create two more evolved correlations. If we have a double torus within our body, what does that generate? We're talking about 1,444 degrees within our body, within our source code, which is our own geometry, which is the sum of our gravitational field and our electromagnetic field. The information added up from that generates your geometrical body. So when we connect with these cubes, all that information from the cubes generates resonance with your source code. And it's quite simple and quite elegant and quite beautiful. And it's just occupying our space. So if you're interested in knowing more about this, I will write the description below. And also, if you're in resonance with this information, share this information so that it can reach more people as it's meant to. So thank you for watching this video, and